friends. This is Aramis from Art Chill Archives, and today I am going to try out Prang watercolors. Now, I had to order this online because, of course I did, but I really wanted to try them out because I've seen other people do it. I got this for $10 and then it went down to $8, so there's that. But it was $16 for a while, and then this was $2, and they claimed this was used, but I realized sometimes that used on Amazon could mean just the plastic comes off and that's it. And when I got it earlier today, so it just came, they were untouched. This is me. I did a quick coloring of a drawing with Tammy because I was impatient. So I'm gonna do, I also wanted to compare the two because I heard that the washable ones were different from the plain oval ones. I kind of just wanted to test them out. Also, this was $2, so, and I got a new phone stand so I can go up and come all the way down. Yeah, so that's good. So air bubble here. Adjust this a bit more. So again, what I'm gonna do, like with all my other reviews, I'm gonna swatch these out and then I'm gonna use them for a while. So the first part of this video would be filmed probably weeks before the second part of the video. But I don't find first impressions to be that valuable. I've said it before, because sometimes when you use the paints for a while, your opinion changes. And to test them out, to swatch them out, I'll be using the brush that came with the 16 set. I've heard it's a perfectly fine brush. And I'm gonna be doing some small swatch cards that I'm gonna put in my folder with all the rest. So, let's begin. Okay, we'll drip. Come on. This brush doesn't hold much water. We'll drip some. They're semi-moist, which means they're very sticky. But they're also kind of gummy. This set in particular, I haven't used the 16 set, I just tried out that 8 set. In terms of color selection, I couldn't get a pink for Tammy's scarf because Tammy's scarf is pink. This is one of the reasons why I like sets that come with pinks, because I find pink, when you water down a red, you don't get pink. You just get a light red. It's kind of pinkish, but not really. So I do use white a lot of the time to mix pink, because my characters have pink in their clothes. So yeah, they were a bit sticky, which is weird. Okay, have my rag handy. So I want to get as much of the color out as possible. I don't like to do the whole try to fade it out, water it down thing, because like if I know how the dark color looks, the light color is not going to be hard to figure out. I don't need it. I already kind of dirtied the yellow, but I don't really use yellow alone. I usually use it to mix with red to get skin tones. Okay, I did not choose the size of card properly. Probably going to end up doing this over. But this will give us a pretty good idea of what we're working with. That blue and purple are nice. I am surprised at how much pigment there is, because a lot of people complain about this set in particular being not as pigmented, but this is fine. Though the black is a bit green, but I did get a really nice gray out of it, so I'm not too bothered by that. Okay, so I did a quick swatch on another sheet of paper. This one is bigger. Yeah, the blue and the purple, the brown, the black, these 4 colors, I like them. The green looks a bit darker in this swatch. They're fine, it's just, my only thing that I'm noticing right now is that they have a weird scent. These ones. Not sure about that. Oh, and they're still very sticky and kind of dry. They're like wet but dry at the same time. It's really hard to explain. So now I'm gonna swatch out these. On the same paper, but lower down. Oh, wow, that is a nice black. I use a lot of black in my drawing. Like, most of my characters have black somewhere in the design. That's a nice brown too. This row that I'm doing here should be the one that comes in the standard 8 oval pan. Already I can tell that these are even more pigmented than the first set. Oh yeah. That is a beautifully dark purple. The darker they are, the better. Purple is a color I've been trying to incorporate more into my characters because I use blue so much that I think I just use blue too much, and I need to get other characters to wear other colors. That is a nice blue. Now for the green. Let's see the greens. This green looks kind of like the one from the washables. Generally speaking, washable paints are less pigmented than the standard ones. Also, I'm thinking about doing a comparison video between these and Crayola, because these were more expensive than the Crayola, obviously, because I had to import them. But the Crayola is still kind of expensive, and they're still considered like along the same lines. They have some Crayola watercolors, and I don't mind them at all. They're fine. They're not good, but they're not as awful as people say they are. Even that, look at that orange compared to that one. Can you see it? Let me move this. This orange compared to that orange. Now let's do the red. Yeah, this is definitely a better red. That is a nice red. I like it. Okay, one of the reasons why I prefer using water brushes, because I don't normally use these kind of brushes, is because I always end up wetting up my paper with these kinds of brushes. I find I have more control with water brushes, which, yeah, I know. A lot of people complain that they have no control with water brushes. But I guess it's just whatever you get used to using. I like this kind of yellow orange. It's a nice one. I rarely ever use colors straight from the pan, so I'm looking at these and thinking of how I can mix the colors. Oops. See, this is, I have no control with these kind of brushes. There's all this water. Dab that. Let's try to put down some more. I do want to get some more expensive brushes. I have a few in my cart, but I just have not come around to buying. I like this color. I feel like I'm saying that for all the colors, but I like this color. That's a color I think I might use straight out of the pan. Rarely do that, but when I do, it's only for the best of the best. Only the most beautiful colors can be used straight from the pan. I'm not even feeling like I'm picking up that much. like this blue too. Okay, they really pick some nice colors. Like I could already see myself using this for Tammy and Corbin's hair, because both of them have blue hair. Different shades, but because Corbin's is a bit darker than Tammy's, because Corbin's is dyed and Tammy's is natural. But still like this. I don't really like this purple. That's a purple to use to mix in for shadows and stuff. It's not a nice purple. This purple is much better. Let's check this one out. Ooh, I like this one. But I think I remember seeing somebody buying this color separately and not getting it in the pan. So far, I don't like giving first impressions, but so far I'm really liking these. Well, except for the white, but I only use white to mix like pastels, so yeah, so long as it could mix, it's fine. Okay, so these are the colors. Actually, I could just bring the phone down. See, I kind of wet up the page by accident. But these are the colors, and I really like this oval tin. These paints so far have been the most pigmented cheap set that I've bought in a while. They're more pigmented than the Cotmans, and everybody who knows me knows I love the Winsor Newton Cotmans, the Cotman set. I have a feeling though that I might end up using this one more, just because I like using limited palettes, but I still love the colors in this. Like, this orange yellow, this green, purple, the blue, this in between of green and blue. So yeah, I'm looking forward to using these. I have another watercolor set that I've been using for a while, and I'm going to do a review on those as well. And I have... Okay, so tins are expensive, and for one tin, the tin I was looking for that I wanted for something was like $15, the empty tin, and then I saw the same tin with watercolors in them for $7, so I decided to just get the watercolors in the tin and take out the watercolors. I might still try that on this channel. I go through a lot of watercolors because watercolor is the main medium I use in my sketchbook. I love markers, but watercolors, first love, true love, whatever. You can see that white is more of an off-white than a true white. But these are good. I'm looking forward to using them, and I'll be back in at least a week. At least. I want to get a good handle on them, on both of them. And then I'll come back and let you know what my feelings are, my opinions. So far they're looking good, and if you get them for like $8 or $9, like I can't see why I wouldn't buy these again. Honestly, I wish we could get these things in Jamaica. This is what we get in Jamaica. Well, you could get Crayola every now and then, but you have to really look. But this was $200, and I plan to do a cheap art supply challenge. These are almost guaranteed to be awful, so that should be fun. Anyway, I'll see you guys in like a week. Go make some art, and I'll be back soon. So it's been about 2 weeks since I last talked to you about the Prang watercolors. Both of these, because I was testing out both. This is the washable and just the plain oval, and I've used them a bit. I also got the Meaden watercolors that squeezed out like this, the tube ones, and I kind of like them a bit more, but we'll talk about that later. Right now, I'm gonna give you my thoughts on the Prang washable and oval watercolors. these are the two swatches I made in the first part of the video. This is a Prang washable, Prang's Oval 16, and let me show you some of the paintings I did. Now, the thing about these two that I noticed is the washable has mainly cool colors. Oh, not in frame. The washable has mainly cool colors, right? The oval still has colors on the cooler side, which is generally what I tend to go for. But I've noticed that the more experience I get in watercolors is the more I appreciate having split primaries. Two yellows, 2 reds, 2 blues. This is 1 yellow. I would have preferred they took out one of the greens, one of the darker greens, maybe this purple, and given me a warm yellow. Because I noticed that limitation when I was trying to mix colors. I kind of expected it with the Prang washable because it's only 8 colors, so I can't fault it too much for going straight cool and not really warm. But with 16 colors, they really should have put in another yellow. This, by the way, is sketchbook paper, 110 GSM. And the thing about this paper though is that because it's not mixed media or anything, it's going to get more, the paint is going to be more streaky. I did do a few paintings on mixed media paper. And you see, the thing is, a lot of people who review these paints and stuff say, oh, I'm going to give it a fair chance by using it on 100% cotton water paper. The thing about that is that, one, I don't have water paper, just in general, I just have 100% cotton watercolor paper. I went into some stationery stores and they didn't even have cardstock, so of course they didn't have watercolor paper. And the other thing is that I use these watercolors in particular in my sketchbook, so I want, to me, the most value I'm going to get from them is if I can use them in just a plain old sketchbook, maybe mixed media paper, because I have mixed media sketchbooks. So that's what I test it on, because that's what I'm going to be using it on. I'm not using it on 100% cotton water paper. So these two I did the day I got them with the Prang washables, and I really liked how they came out. The skin tones were a bit off because, like I said, I used this orange and this yellow to kind of make the skin tones, or sometimes just watering down this, but it means that I got very cool skin tones, not warmer skin tones. And I didn't realize I used so much warm colors because I tend to favor cool colors in general, but skin tones especially, I want the warmer ones. These came out pretty nice. Here's the problem. You see these marks? Zoom you in. See these black marks? Yeah, these watercolors are really sticky. That's the Prang watercolors. Ugh. Can I get this to not fall over? Oh no, it's falling over. Give me a minute. Okay, I fixed it. But like I was saying, these colors are really sticky, especially if you're trying to get a darker color, or if you're using one of the darker colors. They're very sticky, so they mess up the other side of the paper. By the way, this is Tami, Ki, Dishen, Tamisra, Kien, Dishen. So yeah, these aren't really their colors because I couldn't really mix their colors because, you know, it's only 8 colors. There's a limited amount that you can mix without having a warm and cool of each. But that's fine. I do in fact really like using limited palettes. I tend to be a bit more loose when I use the palettes, so it's not, my main problem with this is not the color selection, because I like that there is no white. I use a lot of black, even though the black is, this is a black with just water, so it has a very green undertone. I wish the black was less green. But I really like the fact that we did not get a white and we got a purple, because I use a lot of purple. This is on mixed media paper. You see it's a lot smoother. This is the oval Prang. These don't have the the stickiness problem of the washable. That's the difference between the two of them. The washable really is lighter. What does it mean? Look at the colors. Lighter and yeah. These are the colors to compare. The lighter and stickier. But this came out fine. I did get a good skin tone that I like. This is with the Prang washable. This is when I started getting better at mixing skin tones, because I'm not sure if it's coming out on the phone, because this paper is a bit yellow. You can kind of see the contrast, which is also helping me to be a bit looser in how I paint, but I really like the skin tone. I love the shirt. I did a digital drawing of this and posted it on my Instagram. Follow me, the links are in the description. But yeah, this is Corbin. I like it. I use some Artisoft glitter paints. Yeah. Not supposed to see those yet. This is one I really just wanted to see how they bloomed and mixed in water. So I don't really like this paper, by the way. This is Bellofi mixed media. A friend bought it for me, but I'm not really a huge fan. I don't like Hansen either, but this is beside the point. This was done with just these Prang, but I only used this row because this is a row I generally use the most. See, I'm not sure if you can tell, but I've already dug wells into each of the paints, especially this yellow, because it's the only yellow. So I just wet the entire spot, when dropped drops of color into where I thought the shadows and the highlights should be, and then when it dried, then I went with it with the pen, and I really like how this came out. I love how Corbin looks in this, and then put in some shiny on his clip-on earrings. I keep making fun of him because his ears aren't pierced. This is me in an outfit I actually wear, except for the shoes. I don't have these shoes. But this is the regular Prang. I didn't really get my skin tone good, but it came out fine. It was fine to use. They're not rubbing off on each other. There's no chalkiness. I was practicing a background. This was also done with Prang. And as much as the paper is not made for watercolors, I still think it's coming out a bit sharper in the camera, but I got fairly smooth transitions and it's fine. This is just a plain Prang. So yeah. And then, oh, you're not supposed to see those characters yet. This is a Prang washable. Just gonna ignore them. This is a Prang washable. I didn't draw him good. I don't like that drawing. Oh, this is a regular Prang, and I enjoyed using them in this drawing. I was practicing 2-point perspective background, even though you can't really see the second point, mainly that way. But this is 2-point perspective. I used them. I think it came out pretty good. Again, it's a sketchbook paper, so of course it's gonna come out a bit patchier. But the main thing is that I enjoyed using them. More Prang, Saba and Roshan. Don't know about these characters. Saba and Roshan. And then, oh, this one, Prang washable for these. I wasn't supposed to talk about them. This is Kailani and Raphael. So Kai and Rafi, they're step siblings and best friends. So, oh, and also crime fighting partners. I really like them. They're good kids. And this one I did yesterday, last night. These two I did last night. This is with the Prang washables because I wanted to give them another try, and I think I got the skin tones better here. I also did them in a similar pose on this mixed media paper earlier this month. Like I said, it's been about 2 weeks since I last spoke about these. I don't like how I get his skin tone here. His skin tone is warmer, but this is a plain Prang, the 16, and they were okay to use. Here's my biggest problem with the Prang watercolors. This thing is massive. It's only 16 wells, but they just slide around so much. Why is it so big? I don't need this much mixing area. Would have actually preferred it if they were a little smaller. So, now. By the way, this is to keep the drawings from sticking to each other because the Prang washables are sticky. What is my verdict for these paints? I've used way worse. The Pinterest store was worse. If somebody said that they wanted to try watercolors and they saw Prang in a store and decided to buy them, I'd say have fun. Personally, I liked the Medan watercolors. I think they wetted a lot better. I don't really like semi-moist watercolors just in general, and the lack of the extra yellow. I didn't realize I used that much yellow in my paintings until there was a missing yellow. It's also one of the reasons why I didn't use my Winsor & Newton brush pen set for so long. Hold on, let me get it. You know, there's a reason I hadn't used these for so long. I actually used all these and then replaced them with the Medan. This is a swatch chart of what I have right now except for that warm yellow there. And now that I've added in these extra colors, I just want to use this palette alone. But before, I would just leave it. Look at how much paint are in these pans. These are the pans that I took out and put in the other one, the full thing, and these were empty, and then I got the medium tubes and filled them. But because it was missing that yellow, I don't count the yellow ochre as a true warm yellow. I just didn't want to use it, and I noticed that with the Prang as well, because sometimes I would pick it up and then feel like I'm missing the primary colors that I want. And that's where I think the main downside to these is with the mixing. Now, does that mean you can't do cool art? Not in the slightest. I really like how this one came out. I was really being experimental and I enjoyed painting with them. It's just, I don't really reach for them. And I think that's the most disappointing part. I reach for this one more. And yeah, so that's basically my thoughts about it. They're not bad, but they're not the best either. I was expecting more, seeing as how much they were hyped, and they were just $10, so you know, why not? I got this for $2, and yeah, they were just okay. The Medan tube paints I got for $11, and I think those are a bit more valuable if you have something to put them in, like this, something to refill. But I guess if I saw these on sale, I would still buy them. This one I'd probably give to my little cousins when they come, because they sometimes like to draw in my sketchbook, and I don't want them using my more expensive stuff. I'll still use these, I'll probably use them up. Like I said, if they're on sale, probably buy another one. But I can't see myself really using this as my primary palette. I'm sorry, Prang, but you're okay. You're not a 10 out of 10. Like I say, if you want to use them, have fun. You can get you could get a lot done with these. And just one more thing I want to touch on really quickly. A lot of the criticisms of watercolors is that, for instance, I was watching In Liquid Color, and she mentioned that she tried the Prang, and the Prang is what stopped her from using watercolors. So she went and bought some expensive watercolors. And I'm just going to say one thing. If you can't use something like this, buying expensive watercolors, it's not really going to help. The thing is, as your drawing skills in particular get better, your art starts looking better. And your skill in mixing colors matters more than the paints. These paints, this is shuttle art, cakes. I can mix anything I want with these because there's a split primary. And I've enjoyed using these more than the Prang actually, these are the Medan, but I've actually used these, enjoyed using these more than the Prang. And I also noticed the art snobbery in the comment section of Teo's videos. He also does watercolor videos, and he recommends the Winsor & Newton pocket set. Not this one, the other one. And people tend to hate on him for that and complain in the comment section he shouldn't be recommending that. No beginner should start with those kinds of paints. They need to buy expensive Daniel Smith and stuff, and they missed the point. They completely missed the point. Art is supposed to be fun. And if using cheap paints means that you're going to paint more, then use the cheap paints. Like I said, I love these Meeden $11 paints, and now I want to paint more. If I started out with something expensive, like if somebody bought me a Schminker set when I was beginning, I just put it on my shelf and leave it to look at, because that would intimidate me too much. The best watercolors are the ones you enjoy using. The best art supplies are the ones you enjoy using. Don't let anybody tell you have to buy something expensive to enjoy painting. I've heard of professional illustrators who like using Crayola. I've heard of professionals who would never touch Crayola. The main thing, especially if you're a beginner, I'm going to... I think it was Lindsay from The Frugal Crafter that said, just grab whatever you have and start making art. So, if all you have is this, it's fine, because I enjoyed making this. It's a little limited, but you can make art. So, these are fine. If this is what you have, you use. I have other watercolors, so while I am going to use these, I'm probably not going to be reaching for them the most. But just find out what is going to use. If getting these watercolors, if buying this $2 watercolor, it's what going to help you feel free, because you don't have to worry about wasting the paint, and you can just go in your sketchbook and paint. Because, like for me, with the Meeden watercolors, if I mess up a painting palette, I don't feel bad just going on washing out the paint, because they're cheap. I still have more paints, I can get more paints, so I feel free. With the Paul Rubens, as much as I love them, I don't feel free painting with them. So, like I said, if this is what's going to make you feel free, get these paints. They will work. If this is what you have access to, get these paints. They will work. Whichever paints you think, whichever art supply you think, if you have to go cheap, if you have to just stick with a pencil and a notebook, it's fine. Just make art. And well, that was a bit of a ramble. It's just that the art supply snobbery was really starting to get to me. I'll probably make a whole video just ranting about art supply snobbery, especially for somebody like me who really enjoys using cheap supplies, because like I said, I feel free when I use them. I could just focus on the art and not worry about wasting supplies and stuff. But yeah, like I said, it's fine. Just get what you have. I like how this came out. You can make art with these, it'll be fine. So that's it for my review. They were okay. They weren't amazing, they were okay. Which is exactly what you want from that price, so it's fine. It gets like a 7, a 6.5, a 7 out of 10. If it had that second yellow, the one that I'm talking about that I can mix with, it would get an 8 out of 10. Anyway, thanks for watching and for listening to me ramble about art snobbery and why that's stupid. I'll see you in another video. Maybe I'll even talk about these characters a little more, or about the maps. I love maps. So if that interests you, don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more uploads. I upload fairly frequently, at least once a week. Speed paints, art, writing, those kinds of stuff. So thanks for watching, I'll see you in another video.